Welcome to another Todd's 2-Minute Tech Tip Tuesday. Brought to you by the National RV Training Academy, the largest hands-on RV training academy in America. Hey, before we get to the video, which I know this is the reason why you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. Hit the subscribe button now. Thank you. Now, back to our Tech Tip Tuesday. Hey, this is Todd Henson coming to you live from the National RV Training Academy air conditioner class. If you want to learn more about your air conditioning, the information I gave you is kind of basic. If you want to get into actually repairing this, it's a wonderful opportunity for you to make a lot of money. Come to the National RV Training Academy, go ahead and get signed up, take fundamentals, and then jump into air conditioning, and you'll be the coolest guy on the block. If you stick around through this tech tip, I'm going to show you a special surprise. Hey, this week, let's go ahead and talk about cleaning and servicing your air conditioner. If we are using our air conditioner, what we're actually doing is we're sucking the warm air out of the RV and sending the heat out and blowing back in less warm air. So we understand that airflow is a concern. One of the concerns we have is that dirt that's inside the RV gets trapped in your coils, and we want to look at servicing our coils. Here I've got an example of some air conditioner coils. These are the evaporator coils, and obviously you see there's tons of dirt there, and this is just lack of servicing it. So what I'm going to do is quickly show you how to maintain, how to clean your coils, so that way you never get this problem right here. So I have an air conditioner in front of me, and what you have to do before getting up on your roof, of course, let's just quickly go over a checklist of items. The first thing you want to do is you want to disconnect power to your air conditioners. That can be done several ways. Easiest way is to identify the correct breaker within your breaker panel box and turn it in the off position. Or if you don't really trust that, you can disconnect the main breaker, put it in the off position, or go out to your pedestal and put it in the off position. Okay, so any one of those would go ahead and do that. Actually, all three would be absolutely perfect. Turn off the breaker to the air conditioner, turn off the main breaker, right? I can tell you those two right there, absolutely fine. Now, when you get up on the roof, you want to go ahead and take off the upper shroud. You need to look at the brand you have, whether it's going to be a flathead screw or a Phillips screw. So let's just go ahead and take off the upper shroud. Now, this particular air conditioner that I have here, I've already taken off the upper plenum, right? Just for speed, for us to get to this right here. What you want to do when you clean your coils is get to your coils to go ahead and clean them. So here I have the coils sitting here. Now you will notice that these coils are relatively clean. As a matter of fact, we use these here at the National RV Training Academy for training, and we get very little dirt over here, but you do see a lot of dents and dings. And again, if we're looking at airflow, I am concerned with air flowing through these coils. I want to make sure these coils are nice and straight. I want to make sure they're clean, okay? If we are addressing dirt like this, there's two things that I want you to get. First off, we need to get some coil cleaner. The simple coil cleaner for you to get, and it doesn't matter which big box store, wherever you're at, you want to get the coil cleaner that has the soft bristle brush up top. I can use this to help get a lot of that dirt off. Now, the coil cleaner itself can get some of that dirt off, but there's no way, you know, that if I just simply spray that on there, that the foam and this stuff is actually going to get that off. So I need to carefully take that off. Now, the coils themselves, I mean, they're a little bit thicker than aluminum foil, so we got to be delicate with those. And that's where the brush comes in. So what I want to do, if I have the brush, is to take it and slowly begin to get the dirt off. Find which side is dirty, and that's the side you want to clean. Another thing to get besides this right here is just a very thin-toothed steel brush, okay? This is a thin-toothed steel brush, and I could do the same thing. I want to lightly get into these coils and get that dirt off. Okay, now, this right here, this brush right here may not fix all these dents and dings. That's a little bit, beyond what we're going to do in this tech tip, but this is how we actually clean it, right, is to carefully get this stuff off. Now, once this is actually taken care of, I need you to understand that we're going to carefully spray the foam on there, okay? So whatever foam we have, we go ahead and spray that on there, and we put it on there pretty thick. So let's say we've brushed off as much as we can. I would recommend putting a towel right here because some of this foam may go into the RV and we really don't want that. So I want to put a towel right here to block that off. Then what we do is we simply spray this. And when we spray this, we want to apply this stuff pretty thick. Okay, and let that foam get all in the coils and foam out. There we go. If it's not foaming out, then it's really not touching those coils, and that's what we want. Okay, so we sit there and do that and let that sit for a while, because we got to give it time to break down the dirt. Okay, now from here, depending on the coil cleaner that you have, you need to read the coil cleaner, the directions, to find out whether you need to rinse this or not. Can I tell you, on the evaporator coils, which are going to be in the front of the air conditioner, the air that we breathe, you really don't need to take that foam off. Let it sit. The longer it sits, the cleaner it's going to get. When you put this back together and you turn on the air conditioner, this right here, is going to start pulling the moisture out of the air, which is the condensate. And the condensate will actually rinse your coils for you. So typically on the evaporator coils, we just simply spray this on. We would straighten out the coils and clean the coils lightly with whatever brush that we have. If you're a little bit more advanced, yes, you can go get the fin brushes to try and straighten that out, but different tech tip for that. Spray this on, leave it there and let it set. That's your evaporator coils. While you're at it, I want you to look at what we call the condenser coils, same thing. These are the coils that are exposed to the outside air. Now, depending on your model, you want to look at which way the fan blows the air. Whichever way the fan blows into your coils, that's going to be the dirty side. In this particular model, it's going to be on the inside. So I'm going to look on the inside and I'm going to look at how much dirt is in these condenser coils. And I go through the same steps. I lightly brush off the dirt, maybe come back with a fine-tooth steel brush comb to try and get out some of the dirt on the inside, and carefully spray this in there. Now, this being the condenser coils, I also want to rinse it, so I would get maybe a bottle of water. And if I'm going to spray in this way, I'm also going to rinse this way, get that water in there. You can use maybe a squirt bottle. The question I get asked often is, can I take the water hose up on the roof and spray it this way? I caution against that simply because all your electrical devices are right here. You don't want that water willy-nilly getting all over your electrical devices. You got a much bigger problem. So bottled water, something like that, carefully spray that on there. But if you were to do this, now that it's springtime, this is a great time to do this because summer's coming on very quickly. You want to do this before it gets too hot. So it takes you about 15-20 minutes on a good clean to clean these off, maybe 30 minutes if you're really, taking your time. Doesn't take much to do this in the spring. If you have a heat pump, I'd say come up and do this in the fall as well. But we want to do this, and that will also help prevent us having to constantly maintain that filter down there. Let the filter catch the big stuff, and you get up here once or twice a year and clean this off. I promise you, your air conditioner is going to run cooler. It's going to produce a cooler temperature, but it's also going to use less electricity because we're not having to force all that air through something like this. And there's your tech tip. All right, before you get to the bloopers, which is why you're here in the first place, the RV industry needs thousands of RV technicians and inspectors, and now is the perfect time to do that. If you want to make more money or have more control over your time, go ahead and click the link below. Or if you just want to learn how to fix your own RV, got something for you there. Head over to rvtechcourse.com and get started today. Now for the reason that you're out there in the video, roll the bloopers. Hey.
And I'll show you a surprise.
And I'll show you a surprise. Especially for you. See what I did there? Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's good.
All right.
All right.
All right, so now is a surprise. I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about the Houghton Air Conditioner. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times our air conditioners go out. Good air conditioner is what we have, not talking about any other brands, but I do want to definitely point this one out. This is made by Houghton, which you can get over at RecPro. Now, I found out about these because I do solar installs, and one of the things that we look at is, can we find a more efficient air conditioner? And I will tell you that Houghton is that way. What I want to do is show you why this one is so much more efficient than the standard air conditioner on the RV. So I'm going to take off the upper shroud up here, and we will see that this is what we call a low profile design. No big deal there, but what I want to show you is the quality, not only in the parts, but in the design. So typically what we have is we have these coils. Let me take off this upper plenum here. Thank you, sir. And you will see the coils. Now, if we look at these and compare these to the standard air conditioner that we have, we will see that they are smaller. And can I tell you, the more space that you have, contact space, cold contact space, the more space I have, the more efficient my air conditioner is going to run. Most of the air conditioners that we have on the RV roof only give us this much space right here. I have a flat set of coils that go across. If you look closely at these are basically designed in a 360-degree radius. I mean, not only just from the sides and forward, but also all the way around. They have curved the coils all the way around. The airflow itself, as you saw as I taken off the upper plenum, of course, comes up and envelops all the way around and back in. The fan that they have in these, most of the fans are plastic. These are actually metal, and they're counterweight. They're counterweighted, so whenever I spin it, it's going to spin for quite a long time. So once the motor gets up to spinning, it uses less electricity, but it spins for a longer amount of time. We start putting all this together, you have a more efficient air conditioner. It requires less energy to run, and it produces cooler air. And as a matter of fact, if you don't like the air noise, with the way they design this, it produces very little air noise. When I put one on my trailer, I had to ask whether it was on before I walked up to it because it produced such a little amount of noise. So if you have your, say, RV is prepped for a second or third air conditioner, this only runs on 120 volts. It can be set with any other brand that you may have on there because this uses a remote. So all we need is a 120 volt source. It fits the same hole up there, the 14 by 14 inch hole. It's a direct replacement or add-on to your RV. So if you're considering, you know, maybe replacing your air conditioner, you don't necessarily need a thermostat, you don't mind having a wireless remote, then I'll tell you, look out Houghton, and the best place to get those is over at recpro.com, recpro.com. No ads towards this. They haven't done anything, but they have been kind enough for us to train on these here at the National RV Training Academy, and they provided us quite a few of these to train on. And I tell you, all of our students, as they go through the design and learn how these are actually manufactured, are all sold on this. So just a surprise. Again, if you're in the market, I want you to check out the Houghton over at RecPro.